What's up, guys? I'm Chris Spags here, back with another Four Corners for today's 8-game NBA DFS main slate, courtesy of Awesemo.com and presented by SuperDraft. We got ourselves a bunch of great games today, some key news already out there, and my fire alarm has been going off all day long because they're testing in our building. Very helpful for somebody who makes videos and writes content all day long, so help me out with that power of positivity. And right now, please hit that like button if you want your chance to win a free month of Awesemo Plus courtesy of SuperDraft. Like this video and comment your overall top value play down below. Nobody got Emmanuel Mudiay correctly on Friday. Let's get back on track to start the week by giving away a free month by right now liking this video and commenting your top value play down below. With a bunch of news and the fire alarms breathing down my neck, we've got no time to waste here in the Four Corners. Let's get right into our first corner of the top owned plays. And Luka Doncic in a game versus Minnesota, there was 125.8 implied points for Dallas. Luka has 43% expected ownership on Draftkings, while he has 60% on FanDuel. Luka put up 62 fantasy points in 34 minutes versus Orlando in a much tougher matchup in his return to the lineup, and he could explode against Minnesota's faster pace and weak defense if Dallas doesn't blow them off the floor. A cheaper top-owned play looks like Al Horford in a game versus Atlanta, where there's 118.3 implied points for Philadelphia. Horford is 40% expected ownership on Draftkings, while he has 25% on FanDuel. Horford is very cheap and could theoretically benefit if game time decision Tobias Harris also misses with Ben Simmons already ruled out, but Horford's price seems more appealing for cash games than GPPs if he remains that chalky for a big slate. And a top-owned play that I like more is his teammate Joel Embiid in that same game versus Atlanta, where there's 118.3 implied points for Philadelphia. Embiid has 39% expected ownership on Draftkings, while he has 33% on FanDuel. Embiid is reasonably priced and logical chalk, given that he has a 37% usage rate and a 24% rebound rate without Ben Simmons, and a very strong home game versus Atlanta's high pace and their bad defense. And now for our next corner, where I hope you guys don't hear the beeping that I'm currently hearing, is our top value plays, and let's talk about Brandon Clark in a game at the Clippers, where there's 112 implied points for Memphis. Clark played 18 minutes, including a start in the second half last game with Jaren Jackson knocked out. And with Jackson out again, he seems like a strong value play with upside. It's a 1.1 fantasy point per minute player this year. And another top value play today looks like Kendrick Nunn in a game at Cleveland, where there's 114.3 implied points for Miami. Nunn had 46 fantasy points in 35 minutes without Jimmy Butler versus Cleveland over the weekend. He stands to see solid opportunity again with a particularly strong value price on FanDuel, but still a fine price on DraftKings. And here's another top value play with Kelly Olynyk in that same game at Cleveland, where there's 114.3 implied points for Miami. Olynyk is obscenely cheap for a guy starting and getting solid run for Miami after he put up 30 fantasy points in 26 minutes in a blowout versus the same Cleveland team over the weekend. And now for our next corner, here are some other core plays that I'm looking at today, starting with Josh Richardson in that game versus Atlanta, where there's 118.3 implied points for Philadelphia. Richardson sees a boost in usage and assists without Ben Simmons and could see even more of an uptick in opportunity in this great matchup if Tobias Harris misses as a game time decision today. And another core play for me looks like Malik Beasley in that game at Dallas, where there's 112.8 implied points for Minnesota. Beasley loses a little bit of usage with Naz Reid starting thanks to his shot-happy approach, but Beasley's seen between 34 and 38 minutes as Karl-Anthony Towns went out, with a need for scoring for Minnesota to avoid a Dallas blowout tonight. And another core play for me looks like Giannis Antetokounmpo in a game at Washington, where there's 128.5 implied points for Milwaukee. Giannis is yet to play Washington this year, but Chris Middleton and Eric Bledsoe went insane without him last game with over 60 fantasy points for both, and Giannis would soak up a lot of that with huge upside if Washington can keep this one close. And now for our next corner, here are some lower-owned dart throws that I'm looking at, starting with Bradley Beal in that game versus Milwaukee, where there's 115.5 implied points for Washington. Beal's an interesting play to pair with Giannis because if Beal excels, the game is likely close enough for Giannis to see his full run, and Beal put up 60.5 fantasy points with 45% usage in that last game that he played versus Milwaukee. Another lower-owned dart throw for me is Kristaps Porzingis in that game versus Minnesota, where there's 125.8 implied points for Dallas. Porzingis had 56.5 fantasy points last game against Orlando, despite Luka back in the lineup. This is a much easier matchup versus Minnesota, with Porzingis' price still offering a lot of upside. And my last lower-owned dart throw, who looks too low-owned, is Bam Adebayo in a game at Cleveland, where there's 114.3 implied points for Miami. Bam averages a 30% assist rate without Jimmy Butler this year, and if value chalk like Kendrick Nunn underperforms, it's likely because Bam soaked up some of the upside in a meaningful way. So that's what I'm seeing so far for today's 8-game slate. So right now, please hit that like button if you want your chance to win a free month of Awesemo Plus courtesy of SuperDraft. Like this video and comment your overall top value play according to DraftKings salaries down below. And I also will be back in the comments later today before lock to answer any questions and just chat it up with you guys. So go ahead and hop into those comments right now after you hit that like button. And as always, those free months of Awesemo Plus come courtesy of SuperDraft. So check out the future of DFS today at superdraft.io and use the promo code Awesemo to get yourself $20 free on a deposit of $100 or more. We also have our SuperDraft show today after the main slate locks on all the other DFS sites. It's from 7 to 7:30 p.m. We're just giving away SuperDraft lineups tonight live before lock. So tune in then. It's been a lot of overlay recently on SuperDraft, an easy way for you to make money. So go right now to SuperDraft superdraft.io and use that promo code Awesemo for $20 free. We've also got a special giveaway going for our podcast listeners, and I appreciate those guys. Whenever the Four Corners isn't on YouTube, he's got suspended for some reason. We are on Apple Podcasts, so go right now and check out the pinned tweet on @Awesemo_com. There's details on there. All you have to do is rate, review, give the podcast 5 stars on our Awesemo feed, and then if you do that and comment your Twitter name, you can be entered to win a free month of Awesemo Plus. So if you're not winning in those giveaway games with our value guessing, you do it right there on the pinned tweet on @Awesemo_com. Go follow me on Twitter and Instagram @Chris Spags. My personal podcast came back this weekend. A lot of people made some money off of our XFL content as well, so check out all the stuff I'm putting out right now on Twitter and Instagram @Chris Spags. I'll be back on Live Before Lock later today, hoping this fire alarm doesn't drive me insane like Edgar Allan Poe's A Telltale Heart. And of course, I'll be back with you guys tomorrow for another Four Corners. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a great night, and I'll see you guys again soon. So good luck.